So welcome back to Medal of Honor Airborne with the brand new for 2025 v2.0 update. This has been about 2 months in the making. I've been working on this every day since I made that last commentary video. It's like I just got inspired to come back to this game. Originally it was just going to be v1.2. It was just going to be simple fixes like the new difficulty selection. You can already see like normal, expert, realistic. It's no longer casual, expert, or yeah, you know what I mean. I'm playing this with the game. I'm going to be playing this with the DualShock 3. I'm not going to stick with this, of course. I do want to show off the keyboard too. I'm going to be playing on the new normal difficulty for this demonstration.
All right, this mission will be
Easily skip it with the cross button.
I've never seen the Airborne quit, and I don't.
You can see right off the bat, I've got the new UI prompts for Gamepads. I went back and I made this game actually does support button glyphs on consoles, and there's even got texture files for it inside the game. But in the PC version, it only ever uses the text prompt for the key bindings, so that does kind of stink. So yeah, with a gamepad originally on this screen, if you try to select anything with the any button on here, it would get stuck. It's only programmed to use a mouse. So with Steam Input, I was able to go back and I was able to program it that it would work. Joystick mouse, you can use it. It works pretty well. Actually, one problem I've already found that in this release build, I forgot to set the Mauser C96's damage back to 130 on this screen. I'll talk about that a bit later, though. Yeah, so that's not the weapon I wanted. What was it? Yeah, the Model 12. I'm going to stick with that for now. That's one of my new tips I put. Firing on full weapons is full auto is a huge waste. Fire in short control burst. And that goes along with the new... Oh, by the way, yeah, right there, you just saw me skip the plane cutscene. That's one of the major new features of this mod. Now, believe it or not, this game always had that feature, but it was only mapped to the gamepad for some reason, and I just can't figure that shit out. I don't know why they'd omit such an important feature. You can already see the... I'm playing this with the DG Voodoo fix, which does mess up some of the post-processing effects, but is kind of worth it for better UI scaling, especially on like 4K resolution, and some even has like a video with 8K resolution. That was insane, how tiny the text was. I am playing this, like I said, I'm playing this in the new normal difficulty, because I do want to prove a point. Funny enough, within the first 24 hours of the mod being up, I got like a troll comment like, Medal of Honor was always an arcade franchise, it was never meant to be a tactical shooter, what are you, retarded? Were you brain dead or something? And by the way, those are his words, not mine. And I just thought that was like the most ridiculous thing I'd read. Oh shit. Great thing about the new lean function. Oh shit. There we go. There's that shotgun kicking ass. And again, if this was an arcade shooter, my shotgun would have a range of 5 feet. So like, you really think that's better? But no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to be very careful of. Wait, no, there we go. Oh shit, wrong guy. What the hell just blew up there? This is the new weapon wheel. Okay, I do not want to be here. Okay, I might as well talk about this change. Right off the bat, you'll probably notice that Thompson now has 20 rounds by default. There's actually two reasons for that. You know, first, of course, is the gameplay balance reason. The obvious, the 50-round drum magazine, which has been restored in 2.0, is so much more lucrative when you start with only 20. Firing rate has also been restored back to 833 rounds per minute. I think I had it set to 700 in the last version of the mod. I think as I mixed it up with the M1A1 Thompson. This is actually the M1928 Thompson. Actually a much better weapon than the one really used in World War II. Just gonna push forwards. Yeah, the other reason I did it, according to IMFDB page for Medal of Honor Airborne, the in-game model actually is the 20-round box magazine used on the Thompson, so it's like, it is more realism and it is better gameplay. With the Thompson, I had With the Thompson, I have it set up in a way that, wait, was that, I think he's down there. Just gonna do a little light toss, drop it down there. Oh, that was... Yeah, there is another Panzer Grenadier around here. Gotta be very careful. Oh shit. That's not gonna kill him. Wait. Yeah, but by the way, the frag grenades in this mod, I originally had like a lot of trouble balancing them because like they have a much wider radius than the steel hand grenades, but I don't know. Originally they were too powerful. I think I had to send them at 300 damage. Now they only do 200 damage, which is half the damage of the steel hand grenades. But like I said, that it does work out pretty well. I'm gonna use the I guess not unupgrade. I'm gonna use the default Thompson for a little while. I'm gonna use console commands to like skip the upgrade process. Oh, you motherfucker. Like, you can see how far that blast radius is. You really have to run away far from these guys. I'm actually wasting my time by doing this. I don't think I ever realized that till I played this mod again. You don't actually need to go down to these, like, kill tunnels. One of the hardest parts of the level. Check this shit out. Yeah, you don't actually have to blow them up by hand. All you have to do is just drop a gammon grenade or use the, the Panzer Shrek, and boom, they just instantly dead. That's why it's really good to start with this objective first. You can really cheese it. It's great like that. I'm actually going to show off one more thing before I leave this area. Might as well switch to the pistol, because just like in Counter-Strike, you move faster with the pistol. It's not like I actually went back and played Call of Duty World at War. In that game, your movement speed is determined by your heaviest weapon, which, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, honestly. But whatever. There's some asshole around here. I could just grab the... Oh, wait! Oh, there is no more explosive ammo up here. But that's okay. I think one of the Panzer Grenadiers have dropped their thing. I'm going to try to show off as many weapons as I possibly can in this run. He might have dropped it down there. Well, I guess even if he doesn't, maybe I shouldn't be cheesing this. I got to show some of the gameplay off. Kick some more ass with the shotgun. Actually, this is a very frustrating part because the hitbox on the flak cannons is way bigger than you expect. So it ends up just blocking the enemy shots. Oh shit. Yeah, like now it's bouncing off the flak cannon when I wanted to just hit them in the face. Uh-oh. Like I said, you always gotta hide from your guys' grenades now. They're not programmed to, like, be considerate of you. Well, I guess it evens out, because I often, like, whenever I throw the grenades in this mod, they was like, it's us, Travers! It's us, like... Uh-oh. This is a bad spot to be in. Oh, no it isn't. I gotta say, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but, the new, well, I mean, already I might as well talk about like, the new lean controls. The leaning is so much better in this mod now. This is what it really should have controlled like to begin with. You can just go prone when you want. It actually feels a bit better on gamepad than it does on keyboard, because on keyboard I have it set to left alt, just like in Wolfenstein: The New Order. You know what? I might as well just upgrade the Thompson. Upgrade weapon. While this is upgrading, I'm also going to point out the life bar, because I just noticed in the corner of my eye. You'll notice that the life bar is now a gradient. Oh, you'll probably also notice, like I said in the text file, the upgrades now show you exactly what you're getting when you get the upgrades. They have just a little vague thing, like, look, negative 40% recoil. Yeah, the new gradient life bar, that's actually based on an unused beta life bar I found in the game files. It went just from green to red, and I gotta say, I really like that better than the blue one they went with. Funny that the life bar was originally going to be 5 segments instead of 4. I guess they realized that was kind of overkill, but whatever. Yeah, but I really like that. For longtime fans of the franchise, you'll probably remember that the original Medal of Honor games on PS1 had a compass health bar that went from green to red. That was also the inspiration for the weapon wheel, although the green starts at the upper left instead of the middle top, because that made it too confusing when the pistol was red. It goes from green to red in order of, like, the strongest weapon. Uh-oh, I hear a motherfucker behind me. That might have been a sound glitch, though. I didn't realize this till I looked at the Steam forums the day of the release, but it actually turns out like there's a disappearing sound bug in this mod. I notice it most often with the Gewehr 43 enemies. Apparently the way to fix that is to cap the frame rate to 62, which, you know, of course that also fixed the disappearing guns bug. Wait a sec. You know, I'm wasting all this time. I completely forgot this is the one that was left over. I should probably mention the Comp B now does 700 damage, the same as the Gammon grenades, which I also restored from vanilla, just because I figured, you know, from a realistic standpoint, that makes sense. If the Gammon bomb can blow it up, the Comp B should be able to blow it up with the same amount of damage. I think it only has a blast radius of 5 meters, so you don't have to really worry about that. I do want to show off the shotgun a little more. Just a little more. I think the enemies are all dead now. Yeah, I think they just die when the thing blows up. Whatever. But yeah, going back to the Thompson real quick. The Thompson, how I have it set, I keep trying to talk about this. The Thompson, how I set it up is the MP40. It does start off as the definitively better gun, but if you know, the Thompson, it only has 20 rounds. It goes through the ammo super fast. You got to really watch your fire now. You probably also noticed that ammo caps are much smaller now. Originally, the max cap was like 240. Now it's 160. I realized that was like really kind of unrealistic. Like, maybe if you just had a Thompson with no pistol and no second weapon, you could probably hold that many rounds on your bandolier. But, like, I realized, you know, if you have, like, a Thompson and, like, a Browning automatic rifle, it would just be ridiculous to have 240 rounds for each weapon. I originally had it set to like 120 for the 2 automatic weapons, but I found myself running out of ammo way too frequently. 160, I think I went back to a historical document, and one of the things I said saw like Browning automatic rifle can hold 160 rounds. So I tried that out, and it seems right. It actually does seem right. You have just enough ammo. You can't. I wanted to make it almost like Doom Eternal. You can't rely on one weapon the entire time. You do have to switch between using your long. Well, this is not a long range weapon. This is a shotgun. You get my point. You go for like the Garand or like the Springfield to like the Thompson. You just switch them as you need them. Don't use the Thompson at long range because you're gonna waste all your ammo. It's gonna kill enemies in 2 hits. I want it to be very much like that. But yeah, going back to the Thompson, I wanted the Thompson to where is that coming from? Yeah, I wanted the Thompson to just feel very... I wanted to feel very weak at first, but the more you upgrade it, the more powerful it feels. Like, the MP40, it starts out competent. It starts out like a very competent... Oh, shit, I forgot to show this off. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do this, because I could just use the new Debug key on the gamepad. If I hold Select on the DualShock 3, press D-pad right, there I go. I'm in no-clip mode. So just instantly cheese this. And, yeah, of course, I put this in... so, you know, if you're on a gamepad, you don't have to worry about using the console. On the keyboard, it's mapped to F2. God mode's mapped to F1, so you could try to escape that amphitheater part. Yeah, right here, I don't have a Gammon grenade, do I? Nope. But if I did have a Gammon grenade, I'd be able to just toss one down there, and it would blow it up. So that's a good way to cheese that objective. I think over here, too? Actually, no, I don't think over here, too. You see this? I'm trying to jump up on this box, but no matter what I do, it will not let me jump. Oh, crap. There's an invisible wall. They actually thought of this. You can't cheese this objective. They put invisible walls to block you. I might have just spoiled the surprise. So if you wanted to blow this shit up from the top, you would have to, like, I guess maybe drop a grenade from here. Oh, you see it. Yeah, see, if you did that, and that was the Gammon grenade, you would just cheese that objective. And let me see, over here. No, wait, it's over here. Yeah, if you had the 2 gamma grenades, you could just do it like that. Where's the 4th one? Or there's a 4th one and a 5th one. Okay, yeah, I think you'd have to do it here. That is kind of funny that they put these little thingies here for most of these. You could just cheese them if you wanted. Again, that's why I love this game. They thought of like everything. Yeah, that would just be 3 of them destroyed. I guess 4 of them. I think 1 more. I forgot how many are part of that objective. Oh, crap, I keep meaning to talk about the Thompson. Again, this is a live, unscripted commentary. I don't even have the talking points up. I didn't want to let my CRT screen get burning while I talk about this shit. And I wasn't going to play on the CRT screen because I had to aim my microphone. I'm not using the, not lavalier mic, the headset anymore. Actually, you know what? The shotgun will be here when I come back. Unless I die. But that's okay, because I could just kill the enemies first, and then blow the objectives up. Get the checkpoints. Actually, no, I might as well just show off the Thompson. Yeah, so the Thompson, I wanted the MP40 to start out better. It has lower recoil, actually has better hip fire accuracy, running accuracy. Uh-oh. Oh, by the way, you could see that. That's the thing I learned. You don't always have to wait for the reload animation to play. And that's a good thing, because I actually found out this is one of the few FPS games from this era that doesn't differentiate between partial reloads and full reloads. So that kind of sucks. Actually, I'm going to... well, actually, I'm not going to show this up right now. I'll find a better spot for it. Wait. Oh, shit. Okay, that's one of the big problems I found out with this level. There's actually a lot of glitches with this level. You could tell they were going through crunch by this point. But on this spot, there are spots where the enemies will just pop out of thin air and kill you. So you got to be really careful on this part. You can't advance too quickly. But yeah, with the the MP40 starts out better, wastes less ammo, much lower recoil. But the more you use the Thompson, the better it gets, until it gets the drum magazine. I balanced it sort of like Pokemon. If you remember, like Pokemon, in the early games, if you start out with Charmander, he kind of fucking sucks. He gets his ass kicked by, I think, the first 4 gym leaders, well, the first 3 gym leaders, and you know, he's not very good. He doesn't have the type advantage. He just really sucks at first. So early on in Pokemon, you're gonna get like Butterfree. You're gonna get a Caterpie. You're gonna get a Butterfree. Caterpie evolves into Butterfree very quickly, and he's pretty powerful early on. But you know, that MP40 is the Butterfree. But what you're gonna find with Butterfree is the further you get in the game, the more he sucks. You know, he's going to reach a point where he's just not good anymore. The MP40, that part is around Operation Marking Guard, the 4th level. So, yeah. What happens is, once you get the Thompson up to a certain level, it just becomes like the Charizard of the game. It takes a long time to upgrade. I have like the upgrades set longer than any other weapon. The drum magazine takes a whopping 300 EXP, triple of what it took in vanilla to get to that. In my playtesting run, I found like if I used the Thompson and the Garand, I had like an American weapons run. You use the Thompson and the Garand. I was able to get the Thompson fully upgraded by halfway through Market Garden, the 4th mission. So think about how long that takes. Uh-oh, kind of in a tight bind here. I know there's a Panzer Grenadier around here, so I got to be really careful. I don't want to lose my shotgun, so like I said, I can't... Yeah, so like, again, like I was saying, what was I saying, like the Charmander, Charizard. Yeah, once you get Charizard, it's like you don't fuck with Charizard. He kicks your ass, he's got the Fire Blast, he's got the Earthquake. He's just the best Pokemon in the game. He kicks the Elite Four's ass. And that's the Thompson. The Thompson, once you get the 50-round drum magazine, you spend all those hours, like, grinding for EXP, getting headshots with it. It's like, all its disadvantages become its strengths. You know, the recoil is very controllable now. Actually, you know, let me take a break to talk about the recoil now. The recoil in this game, I went back and overhauled it for all the automatic weapons. Some of the single shot weapons, most of them were actually fine as is. I'm trying to find 10 meters to show, 10 yards to show off. I think this is 10 yards. Yeah. So yeah, the recoil. I went back. I looked up footage. I reinstalled Call of Chernobyl, Stalker Call of Chernobyl to check out the values. What I actually found was that a lot of the vanilla values were actually pretty spot on to the real thing. Like I would look up the footage of the guy firing the Thompson M1928 with the cuts compensator. It was just like the recoil in this game. I think what was that? 0.8. Yeah, so it wasn't a lot of recoil at all. I looked up the M1A1 Thompson because I couldn't find any M1928s without the oh my god, forget I just said that, without the cuts compensator. Yeah, it was about 1.3. So yeah, like that happened with a lot of these weapons. The I think I found Gewehr 44 was like a weapon that had like a lot of variance with the recoil, but it was about 1.7. I found one really good video with a guy who could really control it well. I'll actually get to that when I get to that weapon, because I did a lot of research on that weapon and other assault rifles. Browning automatic rifle, that has a shit ton less recoil. The MP40, almost no recoil. Even the Mauser, I actually think I had to add more recoil to the Mauser because when it was not fully auto, you had the stock and the 20-round box magazine, but you didn't have the full auto upgrade. Yeah, no, it just felt wrong. Like, but it was about right when I saw somebody firing at full auto. So let me just stop wasting time here. So yeah, the recoil pattern. Actually, this is not a good idea with the stick. Yeah, you could see much tighter recoil pattern than it was in the... Actually, maybe a little too tight. Yeah, so I found a video by a YouTube user called Top Shot Dustin. It was sort of like full auto COD guns in real life, recoil patterns, and he was showing off like all these guns. He showed off the Uzi, the MP5. Funny enough, the Thompson M1928 with a cuts compensator, just like I needed. AK-47, M4 carbine, M16. I think FN FAL, or was it the Heckler and Koch G3. He had all these weapons, so I used that as the basis for the guns in this mod. Actually, I'm going to switch to the mouse and keyboard real quick just to show this off, because again, better controlling recoil. Yeah, you could see that pattern right there. It's very actually, that might be a little too wide. Very close on the silhouette target he had. The Thompson, the 45 ACP Thompson, it was a little bit wider than the head. The MP40 was actually tighter than the head target. Actually, MP40. I'm saying the MP40 was based on the Mini Uzi and the MP5 recoils from that footage. But yeah, it feels very spot on to the real weapon now. The recoil is much better. And like I was saying with the whole Charizard analogy, actually might as well get some ammo to top myself off. These boxes are kind of glitchy. By the way, like I said, I'm not going to keep the gamepad on forever. I'm going to switch to the keyboard right after this. What was that? That's the Garand. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm afraid of. This guy often kills me, even on normal. Yeah, much more controllable recoil than I had in 1.1. I don't even know where I got the recoil values for 1.1. Oh shit. Some of this stuff, and we say one advantage to playing not on realistic difficulty. Oh, here's the motherfucker. I killed him before he had a chance to even get a shot off. But you could see they have the MG42s back. They have their health back. Except for the headshot, like I said, the headshot hitbox, I felt like I had to make them fair. The fact that they would take like 4 sniper rifles shots to kill, that just didn't feel right. So... Oh, there we go. There's the infamous ragdolls from Medal of Honor Airborne when you play with the FPS too high. Wow, all that and I actually lost more health. Even though the difficulties are much easier now, all of them, even realistic, are. I'll get to that. Uh-oh. Yeah, even though the difficulties are easier, it is harder in some ways because the automatic weapons do so much more damage now. The MP40 used to do 40, now it does 50. Gewehr actually found out it actually did less damage. I think it does 39 damage as opposed to 40 from the MP40. Very funny. It's supposed to do 65 damage in vanilla, but it only does 39 when the AI uses it. It's like, who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. Now it does 100 damage, so even with 600 HP, you die in 6 shots out of cover. Or, 12 shots in cover. So, yeah, you got to be really careful. The rifle shots are about the same. Let's see. I'm not going to... Actually, I might as well just switch to the Browning automatic rifle now. Browning automatic rifle... I think the vanilla recoil is... Okay, no, what happened was... Okay, I forgot exactly how I came up with the recoil. The Browning automatic rifle was the one I had hardest time figuring out the recoil with, just because every footage I saw of it had the... not the cuts compensator, just the regular compensator on it. There actually is a cuts compensator for the Browning automatic rifle. And funny enough, it does such a good job on the recoil that every video I saw of the cuts compensator, it didn't go up when it fired. It went fucking down when it fired. It was actually negative recoil. I think I remember talking about negative recoil in the Stalker footage. Not the Stalker footage, in the last commentary I did. In Stalker, the mod would actually... If you upgraded too much, it would give certain weapons negative recoil. Well, I guess that's actually more accurate than I thought, because that, that weapon actually had negative recoil, and, what was it called? The M18 recoilless rifle, that actually had negative recoil from some of the stock footage I found. So that's really funny. I didn't want to have it that bad, of course, so it's not a cuts compensator, just a regular compensator. Like I said, like, every footage I saw of it was slightly different. Yeah, you can tell I'm really afraid. I don't want to pop out. Especially with the friggin' gamepad. He's gonna push forwards, though. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna cheese this, just because, I'm not taking this that seriously. Yeah, 50% recoil. Just like the Thompson, I wanted the Browning automatic rifle to be sort of like an endgame weapon. In my test of that, I found, like, if you used it exclusively, like almost exclusively, maybe with some sniper rifle usage throughout missions 4 and 5, you would get it right before you have to fight the Nazi Storm Elite for the very first time. So, I don't know. What I found with the RPG mechanics in this game was, when I had it set much higher, I have what I call hero moments, like, it upgrades just in time for you to really need the weapon. Throughout my realistic difficulty test run, I would consistently always get one upgrade right at the end of a level, most when I need it. I think my favorite was in Mission 1. I shot the last, not general, what are they called? I forgot what the hell they were called, but I shot the last guy through the curtain blinds, which, funny enough, in the 5 years ago when I did that very first pre-release commentary, I was saying the enemies can get you through the curtains, and it's like how the tables have turned. Now I'm getting them through the curtains. Uh-oh. Yeah. So yeah, the new Browning automatic rifle, it's meant to be like an endgame stat weapon. A lot of these new upgrades are made with the idea that, like RPG mechanics, they're kind of broken, but you're not going to get them till like maybe the last 2 levels of the game, so that does balance them out. I think the Browning automatic rifle takes 225 to get the first upgrade, and that's unfortunately the only upgrade it gets. I had to actually remove the adjustable sight one. I think in v1.1 I had it set to, I had it set to, like, when you press zoom in and out, it cancels it out. What I found out, though, was that when you unequip the weapon and then put it back on, might as well be a good excuse. Nah, I'll use the Browning automatic rifle some more. Actually, I don't really... I'll use the shotgun real briefly. Yeah, this is this part over, so I can just go back to my leisure, use the ghost... Because I'm pretty sure the weapons do... God mode. Use the ghost mode. Gotta use the toggle sprint. This game didn't originally support toggle sprint on anything. That was one of the things I had to add with the mod.
Where have you been, Travers?
Shut up. Boy, that animation... Oh, fuck. Okay, that's not good. I don't think I realized that in the testing. I think it's lined up to the upgrade version, but it doesn't actually work with the stock version, the default. That kind of fucking sucks. I want to keep the Thompson. I guess I'll just show this off. Actually, you know what? I have to go here anyway. I'll show it off some more over here, and I'll swap out the Thompson for the shotgun. Come back for it. By the way, you'll probably notice this level has a green tint. One of the major things this mod does, this update, I'm able to restore the depth of field effects. I was able to do that by removing the depth of field effect from the sniper rifles, the really awful effect that makes you blind, essentially, whenever you use the sniper rifle. Oh, there's the headshot. Like I said, it never felt right, you know, that they would take 4 headshots to kill. It's like, you can't make them that powerful. Oh, in general, they are a lot easier with this mod, just because the weapons do so much more damage. I think the Browning automatic rifle does, what, 70 damage in base game? And it does 130 now, so yeah, it's going to take almost half as many shots to kill one of these guys with this weapon. The SMGs still take quite a while to shoot. There isn't much of a power difference between the SMGs in vanilla, and I think, yeah, that's one of the major changes this makes. The weapons are a lot weaker now. Weapons that used to do 150 are now 130. Weapons that did, you know, the Colt 45 and the M9, that is the M1911, the Thompson, they went from 72 to 65. The MP40 and the Mauser went from 64 damage to 50. And they actually have, and of course, there's, you know, very steep damage roll-off. That was, I'm going to have to show that off at a later point. Actually, I might as well show that off with, actually, no, there's one more. You know, it's funny, I remember there being more enemies in here. Maybe I killed too many of them, I don't know. I didn't expect that to be as short as it did. This usually takes me a long time to clear out. Oh well, goodbye, Browning. Or, wait, yeah, Browning. No, yeah, I didn't really show off the shotgun enough. Shotgun is another weapon that it takes a much longer. I think the first upgrade is 100 EXP, which is as much as it takes to get the Bayonet in the vanilla game. The second upgrade with the upgraded damage, that takes 200, and then the Bayonet only takes 225 because like that's not a very big upgrade. This is a very risky part. Unfortunately, you know, I can't have it dynamically change the weapon animations. Yeah, the four shotgun blasts point blank to the back. These guys are pretty tough motherfuckers. Like I think I mentioned this before. I kneel. Fuck you, Nazi. Actually, get to this point too. Yeah. Oh, and he's already gone. He's already disappeared. Corpses do not stay. What happened? In my realistic difficulty playthrough, these enemies were not hard enough. When they only had the STG-44 and they had half the health, it's like this level was just way too easy. Even now, it's kind of easy, but like, I needed to do something to make these levels like harder again. This should be the grand finale. It didn't. It was actually okay. Here's for perspective. Most of the levels took between 45 minutes to an hour in my realistic run, which was double the time it took on normal. Level 6 took me an hour and a half. It is a longer level, and it is a little harder. Mission 5 took me 2 hours and 16 minutes because I just kept dying. Those restored snipers are a real motherfucker. And I just knew, like, when level 5 is harder than level 6, I gotta bring the Storm Elite back to they were. By the way, this part, in 1B1, I changed the crouch value to multiplayer. What it ended up doing, though, was it made it that you would hit your head on this, and you would have to go iron sights and then prone, and then just do the partially lean walk to get under it, or you have to just drop down and kill yourself. Yeah, now the crouching's back to normal. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, something about the upgrades. I'll use the shotgun a little longer. Yeah, I don't have the Browning anymore. Actually, the point I wanted to make, the Brownings, yeah, like the Browning, like I was saying, the Browning was meant to be, okay, wait, what was I saying? Okay, no, the Browning was, yeah, another endgame kind of weapon. The recoil thing is super low again, like I was saying, I was finding all these different videos. I couldn't find the right value, so there was a guy who said on one of the cuts commentator ones that his Browning automatic rifle had less recoil than his 223. If you're not a gun nut, 223 is the round that AR-15s, the civilian version of the M16 rifle, uses. So, like, yeah, think about like a 30-06 rifle kills a 600-pound buck, less recoil than like an M16. That's crazy. Oh my god, this is a very infamously bad spot. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, something is wrong. I can't crouch anymore. Is this a new bug? Oh, there we go. Yeah, something went out wrong. Actually, you know, why am I still using the godforsaken gamepad? I think it's time to show off the new keyboard features. Let me see. Just reload real quick. So yeah, this is the big new feature. I wanted to make this the default, but unfortunately it's too glitchy. I now have something called like fire selector mode. I'm holding the left mouse button right now. Switch it to full auto. Yeah, so that's what you get now. You can just fire it in semi-auto. Really great for yeah, see, much more ammo efficient. Killed the Panzer Grenadier. I might as well switch to the Sturmgewehr now. You can see the Sturmgewehr just has super high recoil. It's one of the few things that wasn't changed. The muzzle brake upgrade. Oh wait, I didn't get the Panzer Grenadier. Where is he though? Wait. Oh, his hand got stuck on the thing. It's wacky, wacky ragdoll physics. Uh-oh. I do not want that. I'm gonna try to use the Steel Hand Granate. The sad thing about the Steel Hand Granate is that the blast radius is so relatively small, you actually do have to kind of cook it to get the most use out of it. There we go. There, now he's dead. So we use the shotgun, kick some ass some more. I say as I miss every single shot. Ironically, the shotgun is now so accurate that it actually misses. You actually have to aim the shotgun. Just gonna go ahead and get the upgrades for this. Yeah, because I don't want to use this much longer, the modified choke. Actually, I have that set to plus. It should say negative 33. But whatever, 00 buck rounds. I think in the vanilla games it just says buckshot rounds, and it's like, what does that imply that the default rounds are birdshot or something? Is that why they suck so much ass? Might as well talk about, oh yeah, 428% melee damage. I can't remember if that was accurate enough. Yeah, this is a funny story. At one point in the mod, I had it set to do 825 damage, so it would always kill the Nazi Storm Elites in one shot. I thought, like, hey, that's your reward if you get close enough. But, I don't know, what ended up happening was if you stabbed an enemy in the toe, it would instantly kill him. And that just seemed kind of fucking stupid. So yeah, the shotgun, like I said, it takes a lot. It is like kind of like endgame weapon. Although you only get a measly 30 rounds for it. So well, 30 rounds plus 6 for a grand total of 36 rounds. That's pretty reasonable. That's more than what Doom Eternal gives you. The shotgun now has much worse roll-off. All the pistols, SMGs, and the shotgun have much worse roll-off. Also, the Sturmgewehr 44 has some roll-off. I love this, by the way. I had a great moment in my realistic run thing where I had to do this. It's actually good timing because there's a weapon I want to show off down there. You know what? Actually, I just realized all that, and I forgot to do the that one objective. Yeah, I'm really sucking ass. Yeah, so like I was saying, the shotgun, you know, it takes much longer to get the upgrades now. Of course, it's more like a secondary weapon than a primary weapon, even with its accuracy and power nerfs, power buffs. I don't know. Wait, like I was almost saying, the buckshot rounds, they now do, what do you say now do? You count that? Is that far enough? Well, actually, just do the hip fire spread is much wider. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? No, I think I'm counting wrong. I think I'm counting one of the wall decals. Yeah, I was counting that one. It actually fires 9 buckshot pellets now. I think originally had it set to 8. I've heard that 00 buck rounds can hold either 7, 8, or 9 pellets. I think I originally went for 8 for gameplay balances. When I was doing research for this mod, though, what I found was that what was it? Winchester. I think the Winchester, some gun company. Oh fuck, he's trying to shoot me from all the way down there. Yeah, some gun company actually made for like I don't know, I say like a something year anniversary of World War II. They actually have like a historically accurate shotgun. The actual shotguns, the brass. Yeah, let me show this off. You look at the reload animation. It is like a brass shell. Yeah, they didn't use plastic shells back in World War II. They used brass shells. So yeah, brass shell, and they had specifications. It was made to the exact specifications of World War II. And it turns out that the World War II buckshot pellets actually did use 9 pellets. So that's 32 extra damage default, or 40 extra damage per shot. So yeah, but it is about time to get rid of this junky weapon. Actually, I think I forgot the upgrade there. I'll show off the Gewehr soon. Right off the bat, you'll notice that it has only 5 rounds. That's because the big problem I always had this up, and the reason why I got rid of the upgrades is because I never knew how to balance it. Like, because the 20 rounds scope and the grenade launcher always just seems so OP. Just gonna go ghost, right now, and yeah, just gonna come back out. Take out the pistol, run faster. Just do this objective because I actually completely forgot. Is this the loadout I want? Yeah, I don't really care about the Thompson anymore. I've showed her off enough. Yeah, so like I was saying though, the Gewehr 43, the big problem I had, it was just too powerful. It made all the other weapons obsolete. It made the Springfield definitely obsolete. But yeah, no, I was going through like I think the Wikipedia article or something, and I was trying to figure out like how could I make this, how could I bring the upgrades back, how could I have it, because I realized it really just didn't seem fair that the Germans didn't get their own sniper rifle, like both their rifles had to have no scope. That just didn't seem right to me, so I thought I could bring the scope back. It just might as well get, uh-oh, wait. Yep, I almost got stuck on that wall and died. Go back to where I was. Gotta be careful. I mean, I could show off the Garand. There's not really much to say about the Garand. Actually, you know, there is something to say. You'll notice the FOV. Let me take out this weapon. The FOV is now consistent between these weapons. You'll probably also notice the Browning automatic rifle had a much wider FOV than it did in v1.1. Yeah, I found like a lot of the weapons had, I think, FOV a little too zoomed in. So I was getting ready to package this mod for release. By the way, I'll get to that by the end of the video. Yeah, no, like, but what I found was I was looking at the Garand, and I'm like, you know, I realized it was too zoomed in. I had it set to like the default 65 FOV that all the default weapons had, but I realized you see, actually you actually can't see it on this weapon. I think you could see it on the shotgun. Well, actually, I don't think you can see it on that. But if it was the Carabiner 98K, you would have been able to see, your hand would have been, like, part of your hand would have been visible when you're in iron sights. And, yeah, I noticed the Garand didn't have that. It would start at, like, the metal part you're seeing. I know, that's the very shoulder stock that goes up, but just take my word for it. I can't remember these terms while I'm doing this commentary. So, yeah, what I had to do was I had to go back through all my weapons, set them back to, like, not read-only, and I had to just go back painstakingly calculate like, the FOV for each Garand for all 40 files. 40 files, yeah, by the way, yeah, 40 fucking files, 40 weapon files that I have to change every time. There was like an 11-hour thing, and the Mauser, I might as well show this off now. Yeah, let's face it, I'm not going to use this. The shoulder stock, the shoulder thing that goes up, negative 40% recoil. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, you can see that melee animation lines up. I don't know what the FOV for this is much more zoomed out too, because like before it was like the Duke Nukem 3D pistol was right up to your face. Now you can see part of the hand. Of course, I don't have like a Mauser C96 in front of me to test that out, but yeah. 3-round magazine. I probably could have just said how many rounds you would get extra, but I don't know. It seemed fancier to have the percentage. Yeah, you can see that recoil is so much more controllable. God damn, look at that. I almost wonder if that's too tight. But I think I wanted to be a little looser than the MP40 just because like 1,000 rounds per minute. That's yeah, you see that it goes up a little. That's a little more like you would expect. Yes, that was like an 11th hour thing I had to do. One of the last things. Wait, I don't want this piece of shit. Actually, no, the Garand. Yeah, that's unfair. But you'll probably notice I had to slow the firing rate down. I mentioned this in the text file. What I found with the enemies was that if I had it set to like, I want to say 160 milliseconds of refire time on the iron sights, they would just constantly spam it at like machine gun rates faster than any human could pull the trigger. And it's like, that shit, it just felt so... Okay, this game is fucked. Yeah, no, it just didn't seem right that the enemies could shoot you that fast. They could kill you even when you're behind cover and you wouldn't even realize it. So I did have to nerf those two weapons. The problem with that, of course, is that I might as well upgrade this. I'm not going to put the scope on just yet. I'll show off the muzzle brake first. Might as well talk about that. Put it in full audio. I have it set to Z and C. You know, full auto is always the furthest most right on like a gun, most guns, and furthest most left is safe. I probably should have had it set to X just to be a little more realistic. But why would you ever want to put guns in safe mode in this mod? So I don't want to get killed. I wasn't paying good enough attention. I could have two-shot him. You probably notice I should probably show this off too if I can get an enemy far enough away. Okay, now he's still too... I think I hit him? I don't know. Yeah, I think that was a body... Nah, it's probably an arm shot. But yeah, like I want to point out the new nerf with the... You know what? This is a good time to show off the weapon. Jungle tape magazines are back, and you know, which is nice because it makes it consistent with the MP40. And the scope is back. It's one of the big things. You know, the reason I got rid of the scope is because it always felt shitty with the sensitivity. But you know, I feel like that actually gives it like a nice little. I actually realize I'm playing at the DPI too high. I had it set to 2000. I should have it to 800 like I intended. I think that was a two-shot. Yeah, look at it kicking ass. That's the power of semi-auto, the fire selector. Am I gonna have to show this off? Okay, yeah, I might as well. This is probably as good a time as any. You're gonna see 10-round box magazine. Scope is back. ZF4 scope. I probably could have pointed this out before. You'll notice like the scope is now realistic. It doesn't have like the little side beads anymore. It is just two fat lines on the side and then one very fat line with an arrow pointing. If you remember Call of Duty 1, this is like the exact same decal, more or less. Although this, you know, this is not plagiarized. This is just the original one, slightly edited. Unfortunately, you could see like little gaps in like the alpha transparency. This game, it does have like crusty graphics on the scopes, and no matter what I tried, I couldn't get rid of that. I'm sure if you look at the mod DB page, you can see like the new M18 recoilless rifle scope, which by the way was a real pain in the ass to try to draw from such a tiny reference. That that little photo reference you saw in the video, I had to blow it up to full size and use that. But actually, no, all this time I was talking, I forgot. Yeah. So yeah, the big nerf with this Gewehr, it has 100 damage now, and the roll-off starts at about 25 yards. So past 25 yards, it only does 99 damage to the chest, effectively returning to a two-shot weapon. What I found with this weapon, it basically it almost made it a lot like how the Gewehr 43 was in vanilla. It felt very nice. You could just... because the Gewehr 43, it takes 2 shots to the chest to kill. It's almost like the scout from Counter-Strike in that sense. It never felt right, especially since this game doesn't have hit animations. Ironically, making it a step backwards from Medal of Honor 1 on the PS1, which had very detailed hit animations for its time. This game just has no animations. It's just like Half-Life 2, how they broke it with like the orange box update, and it was stayed broken for 20 years until some mad lad at Valve finally noticed what was broken and fixed it. Yeah, so the Sturmgewehr is sort of like the Gewehr 43 now. It takes 2 shots at long range to kill to the chest. And it does feel pretty balanced. It does feel pretty nice. It's not at all like it was in 1v1, where it was basically a one-shot weapon. It was as good as the full-sized rifles. It does work out. Do I want to show this off more, or do I want to go back to the Winchester? I showed off as much of the Winchester as I really needed to. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I want to show this off. Yeah, so the reason why I couldn't push full auto mode as actually funny enough, I don't know if the Schnellfrower or whatever it's called is semi-auto mode. I wonder if it is fully auto only. That's a big problem you can do with the MP40, which does not have a fire selector, so you got to be careful. Yeah, I know anybody can just abuse it, but I expect you all to be good little boys and girls and try to use the weapons as much as possible. Realistically as much as possible. I might as well show that off. The adjustable zooming is back in on the sniper rifles. Unfortunately, that was not by my decision. That was because of a limitation. What I found out, I originally wanted to have the this would 4 times zoom on this weapon. I was going to upgrade the Springfield from 2.75 to 7.8. I think it's called Universal scope. Yeah, I wanted it to just be very realistic in that sense. It's still for gameplay balance. The Springfield's better at long range. It has double the zoom. It's worse at close range, though. But yeah, the unfortunate thing what I found with that was that okay, so it turns out even though they have 2 separate lines in the file, it turns out that the sway values for the Gewehr 43 and the Springfield are exactly the same. If you change one, you change the other. So it was not possible to have them have 2 separate values. So I settled for a compromise. The minimum value is the 2.75 zoom of the Weaver Model 330. The max zoom is the 7.8. And I guess if you want the realistic scope zoom for the Gewehr 43, you gotta just set it till 1 or 2 clicks above the default. Probably closer to 1 than 2. There's that heavier fall damage. In v2.0, the fall damage is much higher. It feels about right. I didn't want to, like I said, I don't want to make it too realistic and punishing that you never want to go on vertical elevations. I do want to make it more punishing, because in v1.1 it just felt too lenient. I might as well take off the scope now. Kind of pointless. Go back into semi-auto mode, throw that shit off. Yeah, it feels so nice when you can just do that. And I'm sure some smartass will be like, you can just single tap on full auto. It's like, they see I'm doing 2-round bursts, I'm doing 1-round bursts. It's not consistent. And with the Thompson, you can imagine that's way worse. Actually, I don't have to show you that. You imagine the Thompson. This is me trying to single fire this weapon. I had to take my hand off the mouse to tap it that fast. You see 2-round, 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 1-round. So it's not that convenient. I don't even know why you'd want to do that with that weapon, like I said. Whew. Was there an objective downstairs? Yeah, if I were to fall from here, I don't know if that would kill me. I do have the checkpoint, so I could just do that, but I'm really trying to avoid the checkpoints as much as possible. This is one of the worst levels for checkpoints, just because you have to do all that shit again. You have to go through that ring of death with the Nazi Storm Elite and all those enemies circling you. Yeah, I might as well just show off full auto. The recoil is now much better now that it's back to the vanilla value. You probably noticed that the recentering is not back. That is an unfortunate limitation. I wanted to bring that back, but what I found was that if I had the recentering on, then the random left and right spread when it goes up, that would just disappear. If I had the recentering on, it would just be a straight line up, and that's not good. You need that straight line in order to show off, not show off, yeah, have that realistic spread. I don't have to like just... Yeah, you can see it's going slightly left and right. That's like about the size of... I want to say that's slightly smaller than a human torso. I don't know. That is about right though. That's about what the AK-47 looked like in Top Shot Dustin's footage. I didn't show it off, but the default is I'm gonna push forwards. I know there's a motherfucker. Yeah, they are still too easy now that the weapons are actually good. And you know, you got the good leaning mechanics. Oh, last shot. That was very lucky. I'm almost done with this, so I do kind of have to speed up the commentary a little. I could take the lift down. That will show me the... Actually, I want to show that off too, but I might as well just kill these sniper bastards. This was my second recording attempt. The first one, I got taken out by these motherfuckers. The sniper enemies are back to hit scan. I never realized this when I made 1.1. Actually, I might as well talk about that. I want to say I spent a good 15 to 20 hours trying to optimize the accuracy in this mod. In the last video I said, like, you could try to shut off the values, like the base converge time, so they stop becoming whatchamacallits, aimbots at yeah, that was 2 shots to the chest. That's the damage fall off. Yeah, if they stop becoming aimbots, they'll always... The problem I found with that, you know, you saw with the snipers, they would never converge. They would just have the widest possible spread, and it's like, I had it at like a certain value. What I found was, like, if you were like standing in front of like the green weapon pickup box with the 2 train car snipers in that not so safe area, which I have a warning about one of the tooltips now. Yeah, they could shoot you there, but if you were to move like 5 feet away, they wouldn't be able to hit you at all. They would just constantly miss. So I wasted so many hours with so many different accuracy combinations, trying so many things. In the end, I had to just revert everything back, more or less back to the v1.1 stats. So they will just always become aimbots if you're like staying out of cover for 0.8 seconds. I did try to make it a little more manageable in some ways, but I'm gonna grab the game. Actually, no, I think there's one last sniper. Yeah, there is one last sniper. He's down there. Look at that. He knew I was there, and he turned around and shot me. Even there's no fucking way he could have saw me. Yeah, this is a big problem I found with this game. The enemies are just too good at pixel sniping you. They can shoot you through like loose floorboards, and in fact, in one of my realistic run deaths, that's exactly what happened to me. I got 2-shot by the Gewehr 43 sniper through the floorboard and died. I didn't even know what was going on. Grab the gamepad preemptively. Yeah, I wasted all those hours to the accuracy. There's just some things about this game that can't be fixed, and that is sad. I did try to fix as many as possible. Like I said, the UI scaling. I actually released the mod without the UI scaling. I went back and I saw my friend King Syphilis from the 3D Audio Discord. He actually had an old Steam community post where he said you can use DG Voodoo. You set the game in-game to 1280 by 720, which is the last possible UI scaling it has set in the file. And then you just force 1920 by 1080. That's what I'm using right now. You could use like 4K, you could use 8K, whatever the fuck you want. You could just force it in the DG Voodoo 2, and that'll actually cause it to, like, you know, scale it properly. So that's pretty good to know. You know, there was some shit with like the depth of field effects that glitches out, but it's worth it. It's worth it, especially if you're playing at 4K. You have slightly pixelated depth of field effects in exchange for being able to see where the grenade indicators are, the health bar is. I actually forgot the train of thought I had. There's a lot of shit with this mod that took so long. It took me, I want to say, like at least a minimum of 2 hours every day for the last 60 days, 2 months. Like, I've spent so much time. It was so exhausted. I want this to be kind of, I don't want to say retirement. I don't know if I'll ever make a big project like this again. Like, I don't know if I'll ever go back to Lava Mod. I was talking about that gyro aim PS Vita video. That might be an indefinite hiatus. I'll have to see how I feel. But like, this took a toll on my mental health. There was a lot of nights where I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, even 5 o'clock in the morning one night. I just, like, so many sleepless nights. It was taking a toll on my body. It was taking a toll on my mental health. And I just couldn't have that anymore. Might as well... Look at that. He knew I was pointing my gun at him. They have some kind of psychic telekinesis. Oh, I'll save you for later. Actually, I probably should have left him live. But I don't want to... this is what I... Yeah, it was just taking a toll on my body, taking a toll on my mental health. Just my mood. I just felt like shit. I probably put on like a good 5 or 10 pounds. Stopped going to the gym. It's like, you know, it's like life for me has changed so much since 2020. I don't really have the free time to fuck around with mods like these anymore. I just can't spend 8 to 10 hours a day fucking around with INI file changing things. What I found with like the stick sensitivity, it was a nightmare. That probably took a good 10 to 15 hours by itself. What I would do is like I'd load up the mod. Like I said, it would like the default sensitivity. I'm not even exaggerating. It's like there's just a huge like 1 to 2 second delay before it goes from like slowest to full speed, and that would even happen with the ADS. It would be like that. It just felt like shit. I saw somebody had a Steam guide that sort of gave me the idea, but I want to say I spent 10 to 15 hours. I had it loaded up side by side with Call of Duty World at War, which, funny enough, does not support Gamepads by default on PC. You have to use like a mod to actually like activate gamepad support, even though it's not perfect. That has no vibration, just like this doesn't have vibration. The person who made that mod actually had to create like a fake vibration script. Every time you hold down R, it vibrates the controller. It's kind of funny. But I had to alt tab this, I had to change a thing, change another thing, see if that works. The aim assist alone probably took 3 hours. That's what I'm going to show off right now. Put on God mode just in case. Fucker, I gotta... Where can I find a good view? Again, I should have left that guy alive. Yeah, these are guys who do. You could see... When my gamepad goes over the guy, it slows down a lot, and even with not iron sights, it does this. In the vanilla game, this shit only cuts off after 2,500 units, map units for hip fire, and a measly 45 units, 4,500 units when it's yeah. So it's like right now I would not be able to hit these enemies. With 4,500 is about equivalent to, I think I found, what was that, like 47 yards? So it's like, yeah, that's crazy. I made a lot of space on my hard drive. I reinstalled Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 because it has one of the largest sight lines in that that drone, that like RC plane drone level. So I went to like the sniper towers. I would try to get as far away as possible to find how much the aim assist cuts off. I want to say like 100 yards, like that. I'm not even exaggerating. Like you have to go so far away before the aim assist, both for hip fire and iron sight, shuts itself off. It was just insane, and it's like it makes it so hard. For this mod, I think I originally set it to like 10,000 units, but that felt a little too far away. So right now I had it set to like 9,000 units, which is conveniently enough as far away as the Panzer Grenadiers and what's called Market Guard in the 4th level will shoot you from. They have a max engage distance of 9,000 units, which is further than any other enemy in the game, including the snipers. That is like one of the rare instances of the game where yeah, you can see this is a disaster. Unfortunately, there is problems with the aim assist in this game. It doesn't work if you're doing very slow mouse input. That's because I couldn't actually disable the acceleration for, what's it called? Yeah, aiming down sights. The problem with that is that, like, yeah, I could have it for the hip fire. I can only have it there's like, what turns out the acceleration values, they all have like upper clamps. Once you go above that number, it doesn't get any smoother. So I want to have it like as smooth as like Modern Warfare 2019. You instantly turn the stick and it moves, but I just couldn't have it that way. At one point in the development, I had joystick mouse on all the time. It just instantly transitions. But the problem with that is, of course, you don't get the aim assist. You know, you see I'm trying to do it right now. Just no aim assist. I'm back to, yeah, there's the aim assist. But if I, like, again, like I said, if I go too slow, it doesn't kick on. And the reason that is because all, I think like the slow, medium, and fast values for iron sights, I had to set them all to like the same value, which was like 85. That's about what the equivalent to like the World at War aim sensitivity was. Yeah, and it really does fucking suck. Like, what I had to do was I had to create like, in Steam Input, I had to create a mode shift when you are in iron sights, when you're holding down L2. There's those crazy ragdolls again. When I was aiming down sights, it shifts the joystick sensitivity from linear input to extra wide. So that's how I'm able to like slightly move the joystick, the right stick, and it moves. But of course, because of that, the aim assist doesn't kick on. It always reads it as 85, even though it's not actually moving at 85. It's using the extra wide input. And yes, I am aware that these enemies are infinitely responding, but I get to do something to make this shit more visually interesting while I blather on and on about this shit you probably already shut the video off for. Look, there he is. An enemy just spawned out of thin air. That's a big problem with this level. Operation Varsity, the 5th level, has that with the basement of the factory. I've actually died there. Very frustrating. You know, all this shit, I've actually realized I'm out of ammo. I gotta switch back to this weapon. Unfortunately, with the scope, I did run into sensitivity problems. You probably know, like, I have the sensitivity much lower for the scope. The problem with that, it does fuck with the aim assist. If he'll ever pop out. Yeah, you can see, look, I am pushing the stick as fast as it'll possibly go. And that's because, like, the stick sensitivity, yeah, I just realized something. I never showed this off when I was going to. This is the reason why I couldn't make the fire selector mode default. Like, right now it's set to full auto. This is what semi-auto looks like. Yeah, right now it's stuck on, put it back to full auto. It fires as normal. Put it back to semi-auto. It gets stuck breathing. And it's actually a little better than it used to be, because I remember it would just start automatically firing. Yeah, right now you hear the breathing in. Every time I zoom in, it does it now. And that's because, again, because of this game's true trigger nature, when you hold down R trigger, R2, I guess in the DualShock's case. I forgot to set it back to full auto. Yeah, no. Wait, he keeps doing it. By the way, you'll notice I removed the meter on the side. It's a lot more immersive. If you remember, like in Call of Duty, there's no little bar on the side that tells you when you're, when you're breathing down. And also, like, yeah, like in Halo, it'll tell you how far you're zoomed in with the sniper rifle, but it's like, that game takes place in the future and shit, so it's like, that makes sense. Like in a World War II rifle, you're gonna have like a little bar on the edge of your scope that tells you how far you zoomed in. And again, the troll who's complaining the game is like meant to be arcadey. It's like, yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, like at one point in development, I actually had the sniper sway very, very like crazy. Not quite that bar, but you get what I mean. It was like set to like think double the sway with triple this sway speed. And yeah, the big problem with that, I'm just gonna put down the gamepad because I don't really need it at this point. Yeah, the problem with that. Oh crap! All this. Yeah, the original thing. Yeah, the sniper sensitivity. It's made for the mouse sensitivity. The problem is, like, when you use the gamepad, it's actually half the speed it should be. So, like, if you do want to play on the gamepad, you might have to actually increase those back to vanilla. I really did try to keep like as much of the DIY shit out of this mod as possible, but whatever. I'm just gonna like at this point I've been rambling on for 10 minutes about the stick sensitivity, whining about how hard this shit is. Turn God mode off. No. I'm not gonna go this way, of course, because this is a little dangerous. But unfortunately, it is dangerous to take the elevator too. Just might as well show off the Mauser some. I never actually end up getting either of the pistols upgraded in any of my runs, and that's even with the EXP, which is set to the I'm sorry, what? What the fuck just happened? I climbed the ladder wrong and it, like, killed me. And of course, that means I'm gonna have to do all this bullshit again. Oh. Yeah. Oh, God. I guess that gives me more time to blather on and on. Weapon ammo. Get the shitty scope off. There are no MP40s in this level, so I can't really show it off, but that's okay. I don't really give a fuck. Oh, the game's not arcadey enough. You can't play it like an arcade shooter. Oh no, the game is too realistic. Why is it so realistic and tactical? Oh, I'm only taking, what, how many shots? Was that gonna be a quintuple kill? Ah, shit. I don't think I got a single quintuple kill when I did the realistic run. Yeah, there's some more enemies spawning out of thin air. Scrub the... And there's some people who even complain, like, they want the regenerating health back. And it's like, I don't get that. Like, one health pack is all it takes to restore your health. At one point developing v1.2, I tried having it set to 2, so it would restore, I thought in theory it would restore 50% health. What it actually would do was that once it got to 50, and I want to say, like, if I got to like 51 health, it would still restore it back to like 100% health. And I'm like, what? It's supposed to be like segmented health, but yeah, like, no, what would end up happening was I would get all the way down to, I want to say, like 74% health. It would still restore 100% health. But once I went down to 75% health, it would restore me back to half health, which is, you know, of course, you know, might as well just show off the Garand at this point, make it harder on myself. Getting kind of tired of the Sturm Gewehr. I could always pick it up again. Oh wait, that's another thing I forgot about this level. The Nazi Storm Elites thankfully do stay dead, so that is a good thing. This circle of death is not actually as hard when you have to like respawn from a checkpoint. I'm just gonna YOLO this shit. Oh, I didn't have to even do that. Unfortunately, I did wake up the sleeping giant. Oh wait, no, I remember where this is now. This is kind of an annoying part. You can like end up here. It is kind of like an awkward like use of the geometry to get back. Yeah, so I'm basically back to where I was. That didn't take me back that far. Again, I got to prove to the point of the haters. There was this website called DSO Gaming, Dark Side of Gaming. He had like this article. He's like, first of all, he got several things wrong. He basically, I swear to God, that site is AI generated. But yeah, he basically took the news I wrote for the update and just used, I want to say like an AI program to slightly edit it. Allegedly, I'm not going to say anything that gets me sued. But like, yeah, no, like he changed enough of the words that, you know, it's probably not plagiarism. Yeah, no, but he had said like it took 5 years to make this mod. No, it did not take 5 years. There's more of that fall damage. It's a little higher. I'll try to use the. Oh, I don't have any Gammon grenades. That was probably the wrong weapon to use in that instance, but whatever. I think the snipers are going to be back, so this is going to be a motherfucker. But I've got the mouse aim. This is another one of the spots where the enemies will just spawn out of thin air. Can be a real bitch to get through this part, especially on realistic difficulty. I got to be very careful of this part because there's something really funny I have to show off. There's the Mauser kicking ass. I really, again, like this might be too OP. You know, you get like 1,000 rounds per minute, infinite ammo, 20, like, just, it's really good. But, whatever. Like, if you only get, I couldn't even... Okay, this is something I never knew you could do. You could just punch them. You don't have to, they want you to blow up the barrels. But you don't have to do that. Oh, rest in peace, my comrade. Oh... I didn't think friendly fire actually worked. He's literally left nothing but his gun, almost like a Crash Bandicoot death. Yeah, I hear the sniper cocksuckers. Well, actually, no. I have this counter sniper. Try to snipe them with this piece of shit. Oh god, there's that sensitivity fucking with me. Where is he? Where is he? There we go, yeah. No, ooh, nice juicy headshot, too. Believe it or not, there actually is a parameter to get rid of the headshot sound. I think, was that the other one? No, I thought I saw him peeking through. I know there was more than that, though. Gotta be careful. Oh, good, that's alright, I gotta be careful. I gotta get my stealth kill in. Nah, 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 nah. Yeah, I gotta do this shit. Yeah, ordinarily I think these enemies will just infinitely spawn in until you kill that half-track. So that is like just a part where they can spawn out of thin air and kill you. Yeah, there we go. By the way, that's one of the things this mod added. The melee damage was increased from 30 to 35, so you can specifically do the melee headshot. And with the... my friend blocked all the shots. Uh-oh. He's gonna spoil my fun. By the way, I think I've tried to point this out earlier. This one's the best of all. Because look at this shit. I don't wanna spoil the surprise. Okay. Wait, yeah, gotta go into iron sights. Actually, no, that doesn't work. I can't prone. But yeah, nighty night. Just love that you could do that. You just jump on top of their half tracks and punch them in the back of the head, like Lenny in that one Simpsons episode, and that's how you complete the objective.
Advance to that location and engage the enemy.
Do I have all the weapons I want? Do I really want the Storm Gewehr for the final showdown? I don't want the Garand. If only I could lure one of these guys, this guy with the thing, back to an exploding barrel, just for specifically the purpose of taking his Thompson from him. But I can't do that. And they are immune to your own grenades. They're not immune to the exploding barrels, but I guess maybe there is one. I'm probably gonna snipe in the back of the head, aren't I? There might be a Thompson in here. Probably not. What? Oh, no. What was that? I think that was just a Gewehr 43, in case you didn't start out with it. Yeah, I'm not going to find this shit. Gamma Grenade. Probably notice this says Gamma Grenade again. I mean, Gamma Bomb and Gamma Grenade are pretty interchangeable, but... will this kill me? Nope. I guess Void Traverse is fireproof. Ooh, this game's too realistic. It's not arcadey at all. So like arcadey that you can actually see the texture, what do they call it, billboarding? Whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna find a Thompson. I guess I have to just say goodbye to the Thompson. I really wanted it for that final showdown. Maybe if I get lucky, one of my friends will die in the upcoming battle. You're right. I'm talking like a traitor. Like, oh, I mean, it's a game. Who the fuck cares? Press square. Press an E. It's not illegal if I press E. If I got gamepad and keyboard on at the same time. Yeah, I might as well talk about the gamepad support while I go up this lift to the objective. Yeah, I just went full autism with the gamepad support. Like, I think most people would have probably just done the Xbox, maybe the DualSense gamepad and the Switch Pro controller. I guess that'd be the Switch Pro 2 controller now. No, I just went full autism with the gamepads. I want to say like over 20 gamepads are officially supported now, going all the way back to like the DualShock 1. Like there's actually a special DualShock 1 config. It's the same as like the DualShock 3, but with digital triggers. So instead of like doing the lean pull thing on left trigger or L2, you gotta hold L1, just like the gamepad configuration for Wolfenstein. Yeah, Wolfenstein. And steady scope is on left trigger, just like in Call of Duty. For that, I had to have like a special mode shift for ADS. Like when it's ADS, it gets rid of the keybind. There's the game fucking up with the tracers again. Yeah, the game. Yeah, by default, if you have toggle sprint, you can't do it in the config file because it'll toggle the hold breath feature, so it'll clear when it's in ADS shift mode. It will temporarily clear out the the L3 button and instead do like the keyboard keybind. I think I had set for like hold breath. I will say that even though the game doesn't have like hit animations, the ragdolls are appreciated. This is unfortunately one of the biggest problem with this level, the biggest glitch in fact. The enemies can and will shoot you through these things. They are active. You can see right now the Nazi Storm Elite is shooting me. Wait. By the way, yeah, on keyboard, I did have it set, like I said, yeah, there he is. He's surviving one headshot. Well, I'm getting a little nervous. It's a little hard to line up because it's not perfectly centered like the Springfield crosshair. I know there's still an asshole up there. That's not gonna do shit. That always happens. I'm embarrassing myself now. Oh, there we go. One bad thing about the Panzer Grenadiers is I found out if you shoot them in the arm while they're reloading, it'll instantly cancel out their reload and they will fire a rocket right at you. So, yeah, how's that for fair? I think he is dead from the Gammon Grenade. Like, oh wait, I was mentioning that the Gammon Bomb, I change it back to Gammon Grenade just because the actual not the text dialogue, the actual spoken dialogue refers to it as Gammon Grenade. So it's like, I didn't want to confuse players like, Gammon Bomb? What? But they said Gammon Grenade. Am I looking for Gammon Bomb or Gammon Grenade? Again, how can you say this game is too realistic when you can just put it down to normal? That's like a psychological tactic I found out. What was it? Yeah, like, I think the biggest problem with the v1.1, like, I assume that people would just read the text file. Yeah, they never read the fucking manual. So they would know that, you know, the expert difficulty is only 100 health, and if they wanted the same equivalent as expert difficulty in the vanilla game, they would play casual. But what I think ended up happening was, casual really is like a four-letter word in the gaming community. It's like, casual, along with like journalist, might be one of like the few slurs that actually offends gamers. It is like calling a gamer a casual is like calling a, well, I mean, it's like calling a person of color the N-word. It's like, to them, it's like, how dare you call me a casual? I'm not a casual. I'm a hardcore gamer. So I think that's what ended up happening. Nobody read the fucking README file, so it's like they just like I'm not a casual, I'm an expert, and they would just play an expert, not realizing that that was the realistic difficulty. I really should have just labeled the difficulties properly the first time around, but I don't think I ever actually looked at the UI string files enough to realize I could actually do that. Like, it makes so much more sense now. It really was as simple as just changing 6 lines of text, 3 for the difficulties selection screen, and then 3 for like the medals screen. Like, earn 3 stars on every difficulty on earn 3 stars on every mission on realistic difficulty to get this medal. This is a very bad part. You see this? They're shooting me through the thing, but you can. Oh, actually, I guess you can shoot them through. It's like, it is like a glitch. I know he's around here somewhere. Doing the sideways run. This is a weird thing about this game. It says objective achieved, but they're not dead yet.
All units, be advised an allied demolitions team has located enemy munition storage.
I'm almost to the end. I do want to just kind of wrap this up real quickly. If I don't wrap it enough, I could just stand by the hell box and, I don't know, shoot the shit. Those ugly scaling. Again, you might not like these effects. It is kind of a trade-off. If you want good depth of field post-processing effects, but you'll have like the tiny UI, especially at 4K. Yeah, I don't want this weapon, but unfortunately, I don't think there is a Thompson left. I'll just scour the battlefield. Got it. Like I always say, you gotta land. You can go high, but you have to find things to land on so you don't hurt yourself. You know, I'll take the Browning instead. I didn't show that off enough. Oh, wait. Yeah, I guess I could take them both. Yeah, this is actually perfect. Yeah, how I wanted to set it up was that, well, it can be either the Browning or the Thompson. But I wanted to really set it up like, these are the endgame weapons. Once you get them fully upgraded, I wanted these to be the 2 best weapons for taking on the, like the 7 Nazi Storm Elite in the final section. I really wanted you to feel like a goddamn badass in that final segment, especially on realistic difficulty, where like one shot is the difference between life and death. Yeah, I wanted this to just be like the hero moment. This is what you've your terrible Thompson from the beginning of the game is now like the best weapon for taking out the Nazi Storm Elite. It fires fast enough. I think I originally wanted to have it that they would get hit stun from like only the Thompson, but that didn't end up working out right. It didn't feel right. I think they actually get hit stunned from any weapon, even though it's set to 0.
Ready, sir. Double check the wires, then triple check them. Yes, sir.
I'll just let this play out.
Our exit route. As soon as Private Worth is done checking the wires, we're meeting up with the demo unit who's ready to blow this thing.
Now this is like the biggest bullshit in the entire game. You see this part and you think, oh no, they're coming for me, they're coming for me. Nobody's coming for you. They try to set it up like, okay, let me take the music back on. By the way, you see that little artifact on the thing? That is like another, that's because I have the anti-aliasing forced in DG Voodoo. If you turn off the anti-aliasing, that goes back. But it's like, I think it's worth the trade-off. Like, who gives a shit about that little line on the mouse cursor? It's worth... Yeah, you see escape Flak Tower. You have like this super dramatic music. You think you're gonna get chased? Nothing's gonna happen to you. Okay, there's like 2 guys here. Pop him in the head. Pop him in the head. Yeah, there's like 2 guys. Okay, I'm really embarrassing myself here. It is a little hard to see in this part. If anything, this just proves my point. Like, it have this dramatic Roman chorus music. There he goes. This motherfucker down. I think there's another one behind this wall. Nope, that's it. Yeah, you think there's like you're gonna be chased, but it's like nobody's chasing you. It's just like the biggest bullshit. You can play this part at your leisure. I want to say it took me a good 20 to 30 minutes of my realistic run just to get through this, because it is kind of a motherfucker. It's supposed to go that way. I don't think I ever actually knew this though. If you go this way, there's some goodies up here. I never realized this because, again, I always just assumed this was a chase sequence. It's not. So you get some gammon grenades. You get to have the shotgun. Shotgun is another weapon. It headshots the dudes in one shot. I guess I could always ghost back up here if I want to, or I could just reload the checkpoint. I don't think it matters at this point. I want to show off the Mauser. I want to say the Mauser might be strong enough to kill one of the Nazi Storm Elite. This is a very difficult part, unfortunately. And there is like an invisible wall there. This guy, he can kill you on realistic difficulty. Unfortunately, I can't go back up now. I'm gonna cheat. Because I actually am legitimately curious if you can make this jump. There's probably an invisible wall. Yeah. Try one more time. Gotta be careful with Ghost, because if you, yeah, no, that is just an invisible wall. I think the first motherfucker's around the corner. Yeah, the Nazi Storm Elite are not your biggest threat in this part. It's the random little guys that pop out. Because they are up in the rafters, they will blow your head off on realistic difficulty, and you don't want to get all the way to the end to have one enemy just kill your ass. Oh. Yeah, that's your endgame weapon. That's endgame weapon number 1. Ouch. Oh, fuck. That could have been ugly, but I think... Yeah, like I said, your biggest threat are not, There's that melee reload saving my ass. Oh, here he is. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the Thompson. Did I kill him? That actually didn't kill him, even though I swear I heard the helmet. I think I was trying to mention this earlier. You actually can remove the helmet sound effect, but it's like, even though it's not realistic, it's like, you know what? It does feel satisfying. It gives you the feedback. There's another rafter guy trying to kill me. This part is scary because there is a guy around that corner. He will try to shoot you through the bars. And with how the game pixel snipes, it is kind of terrifying. You don't want to be too close. Gaming grenades are back. I actually said that, but the gaming grenades are back up to 700. It's not enough to kill one of these assholes, but it does even the odds a little. That's not enough to kill him. Oh wait, it is enough to kill him. Yeah, see, that's a low recoil. It's a super fast firing rate. It's just, it's like one of the best. It might just be the best weapon for taking out these motherfuckers. Well, I mean, it would have been at the original 425 HP. It is like maybe not good enough compared to the Browning. But yeah, with the Browning, you get like that super low recoil. It's like, look at that. It's basically effortless. I think I forgot to mention the Browning. I think it was based on like the M16 from this footage when it's fully upgraded. I think the default was a mix of the AK-47 spread with the okay, that's weird. I never knew you could go up here. Such a weird thing. You could just kill the last two guys. And my realistic, nice, satisfying ragdoll for the final enemy in the entire game. Yeah, I think in my final run, I threw a steel hand grenade up there. It got him, and it actually got me the first upgrade for that. It was very funny. That's it. That's basically Medal of Honor Airborne Redux. Not really. I swear I had more to talk about. I try to have my talking points, but like I said, I couldn't keep them up. So I try to remember as much as possible as I'm playing. I think really anything else I could talk about. I think like the M18 recoilless rifle that had another misaligned. Look at that. There is a Thompson, but I can't pick it up because I already have one. Although I don't think it would let me. Yeah, it's not letting me pick up the Sturm Gewehr, so whatever. You're right. He's right there. He can't press it. I could press it right now. I'm not going to. Actually, wait a second. Yeah, it won't let me unequip it. I swear I could unequip, but whatever. Yeah, you don't actually have to blow it up in plain view. If you want, you can go all the way back to the sewer. You can just go all the way back to the sewer. And I think even on my normal run playtest, I did that. It just like blew it up. You couldn't see it, but it's like, nah. After, I want to say this has been like an hour and 20-minute recording. Yeah, it's not going to, that's not going to be satisfying for anybody who's watched this far. Watch, I'm going to, actually, you know what? Is this high enough? Can I kill myself here? Okay, if I dropped like 10 times, I could probably kill myself here. Have to do that whole run all over again. Oh, that was a Thompson I could have picked up. Whatever. Get this shit over with. Oh, wait, what's this? What am I doing? Oh, shit, what am I doing? He's crazy. Captain goes down with the ship. Oh my god, the sniper enemy respawned. Oh man, pizza vision. It's like on when you turn on God mode and the rocket ship. Not rocket ship. Oh my god, what the hell? Oh, this has got to be because of the UI scaling. This pink screen of death. Ah, that's unfortunate.
I believe it is because of the tenacity, the skill, and the guts of the airborne that America has triumphed.
This corny ass dialogue.
Sacrifice exhibited by these soldiers makes me proud.
This game does not have good writing. I think I remember in the scrapped take of the 5 years later commentary, it's pointing out like the terrible dialogue. Like, we have to go down there with them? Of course we will. We're airborne. Like some cheesy ass shit like that. It's like this game has such bad dialogue. Mission 2, you get the guy. He's like, Travers, huh? Well, I'm warning you, it'll be a blast. And then the wall blows up behind him. It's like, who the fuck wrote this shit? this game has a terrible story. There's that crusty ass thing. Not really much more I want to talk about. Let the credits roll. I could skip them anytime I want. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about something. I think I mentioned this a long time ago. There was many years before, like in 2008, there was actually an extreme hardcore mod before Medal of Honor Airborne Redux, and it was called like Haya's Extreme Realism, HER, and I always felt kind of bad. I think I like alluded to it. Heather Poon, very unfortunate name. I always alluded to it with like I think in the last two videos, but oh god, that's right, the voice talent. I think that's what I mentioned in an old video, but I think that was like the scrap take. Like one of the voices is Montana Max from Tiny Toons, and one of the voices is Robin from Teen Titans Go. The guy goes, "Travers, gotta do this," and the guy on the radio who tells you what objective is. Yeah, but whatever. That's just a funny little piece of trivia. I think I actually remember like recognizing them when I was playing, but I'm like, no, it couldn't be. Anyway, no. But yeah, Haya's Extreme Realism. I always felt bad that kind of snubbed his mod, because like his mod was out for like many years before mine was. It only ended up getting about 5,000 total downloads, whereas my mod got 15,000, triple the downloads. And I was just like, oh my god, Ritual Entertainment, they worked on this game? That's weird. Yeah, I always just kind of felt bad about that. Oh my god, Tom Mustaine worked on this game. If you don't know Doom history, he worked on like Perdition's Gate, which is a very good level set, and he did some of the TNT Evolution levels. I did not know he worked on this game. That's pretty cool. No, but yeah, no, Haya's Extreme Realism, I always felt bad. I snubbed his mod. I always thought like, man, like this guy deserved more credit. But I never wanted to actually play his mod because I didn't want to plagiarize anything. So I figured, you know, this is the final chapter. I don't know if there'll ever be any more updates. I decided to go through. I didn't actually bother playing the mod, but I did the compare. I used the compare plugin in Notepad++. It turned out I was actually giving that guy way too much credit. He only made 3 fucking changes. One, he made the health, he made the HP, 200 on easy, 150 on medium, and then 100 on normal, on expert. And then change number 2, he made the grenades have 1,000 extra units per grenade. And change 3, he replaced Electronic Arts in the credits with his own name. And it's like, ugh, really, dude? I almost think that's illegal. I probably could have put my name in the credits at like an extra line at the end after "You Guys Rock," but the splash screen is enough. But yeah, wait, I was mentioning, yeah, the UI string. Oh shit! Oh, I know I had that fixed at one point. I might have. I guess I am making v2.01 after all. Got to fix those UI strings, and I got to fix that other thing I saw was wrong with it. Oh well. But yeah, I finally checked out his mod. Oh, by the way, yeah, you can see I got 5 stars for that. I only died once. That was one of the things I changed. People were always like, you can't get all 5 stars. It's too hard. Now it's adjusted so that you'll probably be able to get all 5 stars on anything. It might actually be a little too easy to get them. I don't know, but I definitely try to make it. Yeah, no, I think the new requirements for stars 4 is 90, it used to be 135, and the new requirement for 5 stars is 105. I swear, I think I want to say on Mission 2 Avalanche, on my expert run, or my realistic run, I only did get 4 stars, because I did keep dying during that final segment. That, I gotta say, that level has actually, ever since that realistic run, level 2 has become my least favorite level in the game. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, right before I end this. Yeah, no, it turned out I was giving that guy way too much credit. He made very little changes. And, like, the weapons aren't any different. The FOV isn't any different. And it's like, you know, maybe he deserves 5,000 views. But it's like, yeah, that's a little harsh. I looked this guy up. He had quite a long modding career. He had a bunch of Call of Duty mods. He had, like, a mod that called, like, Call of Duty Rio that ended up becoming spun off into a game called, like, Mercenaries Rio. He took, like, the Call of Duty thing so he could make money off of it. I think he probably spent like a decade making that, and it's actually on sale on Steam. So it's like, you know what? That guy he cut his teeth modding this game. It might have been the first game he ever modded. So it's like, yeah, you know what? Here's to you, guy who made Haya's Extreme Realism. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's about all I had to say. I think I had all my talking points in there, but whatever. Thank you for watching. Thank you for 5 years of playing this game. I really hope all the people who complain that the difficulty was too hard, they'll come back, they'll give it a second shot, they'll enjoy the new changes I made, they'll enjoy the gamepad support. Funny enough, I ever had somebody asking about the gamepad support, and I had to ask them, did you remember to turn the Steam input on? Because that is unfortunate. It is a very Frankenstein method, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, take care, everybody. What was that? What was that line of dialogue they say? Oh yeah, I'm convinced that when the end... Okay, I've already messed it up. I'm convinced that the end of Nazi tyranny will come. It will come at the hands of the airborne. Yeah, I totally botched that, but whatever. See ya.